I am very encouraged by Florentine, who will give our next speech, because when he reached out to the group last week, he said, oh my goodness, I've been really working hard on my speech, and it's 18 minutes. I've been practicing, I've timed it, I've practiced in the mirror, I've practiced with my camera, and what can I do? And one of the members said, this is one of our biggest challenges. So today, Florentine Ionita will present his speech, The Heart.
Thank you. Have you ever had a dream that's so big that it almost feels unreachable? What if there was a way to reach that dream? So when I was 15 years old, I lived in Sweden. I grew up there. And one night, I did what every other Swedish person does: sit at home and watch movies, because it's so damn cold. But this night wasn't just any other movie. It was The Matrix. Now, I don't know if you guys seen The Matrix, but it's an epic movie. Not only does it have an epic story and great music, great sound effects, but it also has groundbreaking visual effects, especially for at that time. And for me, that movie was just like mind-blowing. I became really obsessed with that movie, and also with movie making and visual effects especially. And one night, I was standing on my top of my balcony, I was looking at the stars, and I was feeling into my heart space, and I was thinking, one day I want to work on movies like The Matrix. And then, a few years later, I ended up studying at university, visual effects and movie making, and I ended up working in Stockholm. I moved to Stockholm to work with visual effects for commercials for TV, advertisement. It was cool, but it wasn't Hollywood movies. And then, one day, I went on a date with this beautiful Swedish girl. I remember we went into a cinema, sat down to see Iron Man. I don't know if you guys have seen Iron Man, but it's also a really epic movie. And I remember sitting there and watching the movie, getting so sucked into the storyline. The visual effects were like really cool. And then the end credits came. And I was just like, wow, it's already over. And I was looking at the end credits and I was like, had another moment where I was just tapping into my heart. And I was like, one day, my name will be in the end credits of a movie like this. And then I looked to my right and I realized, holy shit, I'm on a date. And I totally forgot about her. She was just sitting there like, right, what about me? I was so sucked into this movie, I just loved it. And I realized in that moment that it wasn't gonna work for me if I stayed in Sweden. I wasn't gonna work on any big Hollywood movies because Sweden doesn't do that. So I realized I had to travel, I had to go around the world and get a different perspective. And so I applied to different companies all over the world, and one company in Sydney said, hey, we're gonna work on a really epic Hollywood movie. We cannot tell you what it is, but when you get here, I'm sure you're gonna be happy. So I was like, okay, sounds good, let's do it. So I moved to Sydney, and I remember the first day as I was walking towards the office. I'm walking down the street and I see this huge poster of Iron Man 2. And I was like, what? They're gonna make another Iron Man? I can't wait to see it, it's gonna be amazing. And then 5 minutes later, I enter the office and the producer tells me, you're gonna work on Iron Man 2. And I was like, what? My mind was blown. I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. But I was trying to keep it cool. So I was like, Iron Man 2, yeah, of course. I can do that, yeah, sure. And then within, I was just exploding. So I just had to run out the studio and call my family, like, hey, guys, I'm gonna work on Iron Man 2, it's crazy. Dream is coming true, oh my God. Just really excited. And it was really epic. But what was even more epic was later that week, as I was coming home from the city center, I was walking down one of the main streets, and I suddenly see a fountain to my left. And I'm just like looking at this fountain, like, what is this? You know when you see something that's so familiar, kind of, you don't know where it's coming from? I looked at this fountain for a while, just kind of looked at different angles, trying to figure out, where have I seen this before? And then it hit me. This was the street where they filmed one of the most epic, iconic scenes from The Matrix. And there's a scene where the agent is holding a gun towards Neo's head, and Morpheus freezes time, and everyone just kind of stops. And we see this water, this fountain in the background that just is frozen. And this was the fountain I was looking at right now as I was walking down the street. So I had this moment of like realization in that moment that, holy shit, like, here I am working on Iron Man 2 and walking on the streets where they filmed The Matrix. My dream had come true, and it was just a rush of emotions coming on my body, and it was amazing. I got to travel around the world working on different movies. It was great, but to me what was even more amazing was what I learned, what I discovered during this process. What I discovered was that there is an invisible force in the universe that is helping us achieve the things that we want to achieve, our dreams. And I also learned that it doesn't work from the mind. It works from the heart. So whatever big dream that you have in your mind, remember to feel it in your heart and watch it unfold and manifest into your reality. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.